Good morning and welcome to day 2 of the Harrisburg sale. And for anybody watching, probably thinks this is pre-recorded, and not that I can wake up this early.
No, you've done a great job. I was actually up early today. Curtis had to drive us over. Our man Steve, he didn't make post time today. He didn't make it up, but he'll be over in a minute. So it's an early start. Listen, there's nobody here. You see the staff and everybody coming in. It's pretty quiet here in Harrisburg. It's going to heat up soon enough. Certainly, if it's anything like yesterday, I can't say I didn't see it coming, but it was not the way I thought it would play out. Now, I know you weren't with us on the way over yesterday, but I did a video last night, and I told everybody in our video yesterday there was one horse in particular that I was certain we could buy for an abundance of reasons. And we did buy him, number 59. He's up on your screen right there, Tavion Hanover. This is Temporal Hanover's brother. I told everybody I really thought that, although I love the Captain Corey's, we did not know how that, we like to say there's storylines of the sale, but I did not know how that would play out. And even regardless of how it played out, I really just thought that there had to be a ceiling for Captain Corey. And when it came to Tavion Hanover, he could have been our high-end horse. He may not have. I was probably prepared to go quite a bit higher than we did on this horse, but it just worked out really well, and to get him and number 48, which was the brother to Meshuggah, was pretty shocking to me. It worked out well. There was a number of horses that we tried to get that were going to be our high-end horse, and it just didn't work out. But those two pieces were, very important pieces to what we're trying to do here in Harrisburg.
Captain Corey's are interesting. You see a couple of the bay ones, but in Lexington, I felt like when they're walking in the ring, the flashy black horse.
They were all dark.
They all are super dark and look just like Captain Corey himself. And then 48 is interesting, and something we didn't get to talk about yesterday, but I brought it up to plenty of people on the set, was the fact that Wallner's stud fee just went up to $50,000 a few days before the sale.
Yeah.
So to sneak one for $65,000 is not a bad deal, especially Meshuggah was very good at 2 here, and then both of them being back-to-back green shoes, and then the mare getting bred back to Wallner has to speak a little bit of volumes.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't want to disparage anybody's sire and say anything, but to say that green shoe is just, it's a step up to Wallner, yeah. That would be fair.
Yeah,
I think
100%, right?
Just by numbers alone, that would be a fair statement. And Meshuggah and Supernova Hanover are both very fast horses, the only 2 out of the family. They're both green shoes. And then for them to step into Wallner and us to get this horse for $65,000 was actually quite shocking. A group of us were standing right behind us, right there, when he went to win the ring. And I went to walk away, and somebody said, "Oh, you're going to buy this one," jokingly. And I said, "Well, I'm going to watch." Yeah. And I know that some of the people at Hanover thought he would bring a lot more, and I thought he would bring a lot more. I did not think we were going to buy this horse. This was a complete surprise to me. 59 was exactly where I wanted to be as far as the horse I wanted. We got him for much less than I thought we'd have to pay, but this guy here was quite a surprise.
There was plenty of fireworks, though, on day 1. Harrisburg had its first ever $1 million baby sale, which is pretty exciting, and Lexington's had $2 million babies, so for Harrisburg to get their first $1 million, everyone started clapping. I didn't know what was happening. I was getting some lunch and looked up at the screen, and the one that we thought would go for a good amount of money ended up bringing $1 million. So that was cool to see the Hanover consignment kind of go a little bit crazy when it brought $1 million, but deservingly so. It was Maryland's brother bred to Wallner, so a Wallner brother to Maryland, and we know Maryland's won a lot of the major stakes race, so deservingly so, going for $1 million, but plenty of fireworks on day 1.
Well, there was lots. There was a number of very, very high sale topping prices, 700. I don't know if another one got to 800, but I think there was at least 2 that got to 700. A number of horses sold for a lot of money, but when you looked at the catalog, it really wasn't that surprising. If you looked at Maryland's brother and looked at the pedigree and then looked at the horse himself, you could tell this was probably going to be one of the sale toppers. $1 million, I wasn't shocked at all, especially after the way the sale started. When you circle all the way back to the front of the sale, and you started, I mean, there was just high-end price after high-end price after high-end price, and it didn't take long.
No.
The first horse, I'm like, I don't know. The first horse went for 30. Nifty bought it, and then right away, determination, $150,000 for a bettor's delight. Richard Gutnick, $100,000. That was the horse that we liked. That was our first horse that we liked yesterday. It was number 3, a little higher than we thought, but again, it just started. It didn't really let up. Like we talked about the lulls, there was a couple. It seemed like there was a couple, but they were few and far between. And a good group of horses.
Yeah, I was just watching the screen how it shows everybody live, and like after 50 horses, the average was still like 120-something thousand.
It's insane.
Insane for. I think I was standing with you when you were bidding on one going to maybe 30,000, and it opened up at 30,000. That's fun. So
yeah, I was going to go to 30 or 40. I got in, I think maybe at 40, and I think it went for 210. So I wasn't even close. And there was a number of horses like that. You know, those are the things where you turn around and you just feel stupid. But truthfully speaking, you know, and the other thing that bothers you, I look back at some of the sale ones where we were waiting for other horses to come up that maybe would have fit that high end, you know, bucket that we talk about. And there was a couple horses before this one in particular we probably could have bought, but it's just the way the sale is, right? It's just the way the sale is.
There's 2 people who like them.
Only takes 2. Yeah, and it was different. It was a different kind of sale, and there's a filly there. I thought we had a shot at getting that filly, and I doubt we even got our hand up. Determination again, 270.
They spent some money yesterday.
David McDuffie, nice old gentleman, he's standing right over there, and I watched him just as calm and cool and collected as you could see. He bid 410, got one, went back in a couple of hips later, maybe 10 hips later. Bid on another one, got it for like, I think it was 400,000 or 500,000, and you just say to yourself, what kind of money do you have to have? They're just as cool as a cucumber and bid 410.
Just no stress in the world.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I mean, good for them. They, you know, those are the type of people that we need in the industry too. That love horses. You see David McDuffie's name everywhere, and
such a nice guy too.
He is. Yeah. I only ever talked to him on the phone, I believe, a couple of times. We bought a horse off him this year, Casanova Hall, and I just talked to him a few times on the phone. Seemed like a super nice guy. But I mean, again, you know, you look behind all the big trainers, there are all these good people behind them too, right? Nifty has David McDuffie and a lot of those people, and it's good for Nifty, good for the sport, and nice to see them active.
Day 2 actually might have some fireworks as well. I know, you know, people are used to the Lexington day 1, and then it really slowing down on day 2. And something we talked about yesterday is it's not really necessarily like that here. Some standouts on day 1 that you know are going to bring the 400, 500, $1 million in this case, and then on day 2 it might slow down a little, but there still are plenty of standout breedings.
100%.
Pedigrees.
Yeah. There's a lot of deep horses selling here today, a lot that we're going to try and target also. But as I told everybody, you know, I joked about it last night, but we had a plan when we came to Harrisburg, and we're sticking to it. Those 2 horses were very, very important components of what we're trying to do. We are after a couple of Pennsylvania trotting fillies today, maybe a Chapter 7, possibly. And then we have our eye on one pacer that we're looking for. Now that, I shouldn't say we have our eye on one pacer, we're looking to get a pacer. There's maybe 4 horses or 5 horses today that will fit that bill for our clients that are after that gate. But I think after that, you know, we can almost wrap it up until we get to, you know, today was the first day that I started looking at the racehorse portion of Harrisburg, which is a whole other portion, one that you won't be here for. But
I'll definitely be watching. It's interesting in that I think the people, if I'm aware of it, I'm sure everyone's aware of it. The top 3 trotting colts are all retired. In my opinion, the top 3 trotting colts are all opinion.
Probably,
Carl, TCI, and Sig Sauer. So that probably increases the value on some 3-year-old trotting colts that are going to be in the racehorse sale.
Yeah, that's a good point. I believe you're right. There's a couple that I liked that have gone through, obviously have been somewhat disappointing, but you know, what we're looking for again is value, and not even that. I say that a lot, but that's actually not what we're looking for. When it comes to racehorses, we're looking for horses that fit classes at facilities and jurisdictions we're racing at. The names doesn't really matter, how much money they've made, how many wins they have made. That's what we're looking for, because when we leave the sale, we have to enter these horses in to go somewhere if we're racing them right away, and they have to be able to fit. So I'm not necessarily looking for Captain Luke, a standout. It's not really what I'm looking for. We have a couple of 3-year-olds that are pretty decent horses that would be racing in the same kind of classes as this horse, so it doesn't make much sense for us to buy a Captain Luke. But we are going to be looking at a number of horses. I know this particular horse here, 3 lifetime wins. I know exactly what they paid for him as a yearling, and it was a lot of money. So here's 2 horses right here, this one and this one. I would say disappointing for the connections of those particular horses, but that time has come and gone. Right now, you're looking for what's next, and when it comes to us, what we're looking for, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for classifications and jurisdictions. So are there horses that fit at Mohawk? Are there horses that fit at the Meadows, at Northfield? Are we going to leave some at Yonkers? This is what we're looking for right now.
Yeah, and classifying them, obviously a big deal,
Very
especially
important.
working with all these horses. And the 3 lifetime wins is huge, and even
Yeah.
that 2 lifetime wins is huge.
Yeah.
You can sneak them right in a non-winners a 2, non-winners a 4, and hopefully get off on the right foot with a new purchase. And I'm excited. There's a lot of nice racehorses.
Really
in
nice
this sale.
horses. Well, I mean, Amazing Catch. I just saw him here on the bottom. This is a horse Dexter won the Canadian Trotting Classic with. He's got 870,000 now. You know, my personal preference would not be to buy horses from Aki Svanstead, but
Don't want to take a horse from a trotting guru.
Well,
that's,
yeah,
that's
you'd rather. I would rather look for places maybe we've shot before.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I wouldn't hesitate. But this horse here is obviously going to garner a ton of attention, but not really what we're looking for. Every year here, we maybe come away with a good 3-year-old trotter, maybe like Amazing Catch, maybe not to that level. You know, we got Locatelli here 2 years ago from Nancy. He did really well for us. I don't think we bought Yo Mister. No, we bought Yo Mister private or on gate, but we did buy. I can't think of the horse's name right now. Anyway, a couple of the horses that have done well for us and continue to race well. So it is a place we're going to look. I drove this horse. My only drive for Aki Svanstead right here was this horse right here. Not a bad horse.
There you go.
Yeah, not
Would
a bad
you buy
horse.
that one off of him?
Maybe. It's Pacer. So that's what we're after in the mixed sale portion. But again, we came here with a plan. We came here with a strict set of orders, so to speak, and I plan on sticking to that straight throughout the mixed sale. So that's where we're at today. You're right, there are going to be some fireworks on some horses today. We're going to try and stay away from the fireworks best we can and try and accumulate some of the horses. As I said, I would like 2 Pennsylvania trotting fillies come out of this sale at some point between now and the end of tomorrow. Maybe Chapter 7 and maybe a Pacer also. So we've got 2 so far, and the cool thing about here is I've already had 2 people come up to us and ask us to take horses, put them on our platform, and allow people to buy shares of them when the price seemed right. Good people to deal with. So you're going to see 2 new horses show up on our site also over the next week or 2 that we did not purchase. These were horses that were sent to us, and we do that from time to time. It was actually the way the stable was started. And we always tend to circle back this time of year and get some of those horses also.
So never being at Harrisburg before, a couple people told me the crowd was a little light yesterday.
I thought it was. When we were standing here before the sale started, I'd said that to you. I said, it just seems a little bit light, but they didn't forget their wallets, I can tell you that.
The people that came did bring their wallets.
Yeah, they brought lots of money with them because it was a pretty strong sale, I think, top to bottom.
Yeah, walking around here, it's never being here again before. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a basic sale, and then coming from Lexington, but this is a
totally
huge facility, and Hanover, I feel like, just has so many horses here.
Well, it's Hanover's sale, right?
Right.
There's 900 horses here, 200 of them are Hanover.
Right.
So it's always been a sale for Hanover. I assume that's why it was started. And obviously all these other consignments have come along the way. The one thing I want to touch on was Hunterdon. I mean, their consignment was virtually decimated here.
Yeah,
They never brought a trotting field. They were sick. They had to stay home, and I've never seen that happen before. So, I mean, I feel bad for Steve and Cindy, but at the same time, they have a good core group also. They'll end up farming those horses out, sending them out, and getting them sold, and I think they'll do just fine. But
good to them, though, for doing the right thing and not bringing the sick horses here and getting everybody else sick or getting all their other horses sick. They did the right thing. They left the trotting fillies at home, and I'm sure it'll be public on how you can get those horses if you're interested in.
Well, I think they have a number of people that have already come up. I know Steve had told me, he said, just send me a list of the fillies you were maybe looking at, and I'll send you back a price, which is the easiest way to do it, really. And if that works out for them throughout this season, then good for them. They're going to get the prices they wanted for the horses, whether it be discounted or not. And they're going to get to move some horses that were sick and unfortunately couldn't make it. I think, truthfully speaking, they made the very best of a very bad situation, right? Because they both seemed quite fine over the last couple of days, and I would be literally freaking out. So, I just goes to show what kind of cool customer he is, for sure.
In day 2, I
Both
think
of
we have plenty of packages to look at, so we can get underway and look at a few of the horses that Anthony has in mind here for day 2, and it'll be in the back of my head, trotting fillies and a pacer.
We want 2 PA trotting fillies, possibly a Chapter 7, definitely a pacer. We've already got 2. I told everybody the over-under was 7, and I'm going to make sure that everyone except for me loses their bet.
There you go. I would definitely have taken the over, so I'm glad that I didn't get any action in yesterday. But we'll throw it to a package that Anthony has put together, as our good friend, I guess, Mark McKelvey would say. We'll look at a few horses, a few packages for us.
Now, we talked about Tall Dark Strangers and wondering if Tall Dark Strangers are going to be a huge discount or not. Now, some of them are fillies, so you're going to have that residual broodmare value. Number 195, Perfection Hanover, doesn't have that ability. This is a colt, but it's a brother to Poppy Rob Hanover. What is this colt going to bring? I have no idea. Perfection Hanover is a May 26th, so you again have a late foal. May 26th is late. Actually, it's funny, I think he's the exact same date that Lawmaker was born, if I'm not mistaken. May 26th, Tall Dark Stranger, brother to Poppy Rob Hanover. This is one of the more interesting horses I've seen because there could be a lot of value here. I have no idea, but he is built very, very, very nice. Number 195, Perfection Hanover, is a horse that if you don't mind gambling a bit, this might be a very good looking horse with a perfect pedigree, except his dad. As of right now, there may be a bounce back year coming for Tall Dark Stranger. Who knows? No idea. Very interesting proposition here. Number 195, Perfection Hanover, selling on day 2, early day 2, I believe, here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Number 202, Country Sill, is here. Now, there's, I think, 3 horses in this sale with the same pedigree line as Country Sill. And, you know, when you look at Country Sill, here's a horse with OCDs from its hocks behind and its ankles. But those things don't really bother me. Look at the horse's hocks and ankles. They've done a tremendous job taking them out, cleaning them up, and I highly doubt it will ever pose a problem again. We've had tons of horses, same as every trainer has and every barn has, with OCDs out of yearlings or that we've taken out of yearlings. This right here is the second foal from Phaetosoph. Phaetosoph was a very, very good horse. $898,000 made, 12 wins, a litany of major stake races on her resume. She was a really good mare, and this is her really nice daughter. Number 202, Country Sill, January 25th filly, dual eligible New York and Kentucky. I loved her video. She looks really, really good in person and a really nice looking filly. So, number 202, selling on day number 2 is Country Sill, the Chapter 7 daughter of Phaetosoph, New York and Kentucky eligible. Number 255, Yearling Hanover. This is a embryo transfer filly. Again, some of these we're looking for value, right? A green shoe, how are they going to sell? I don't know. Embryo transfer filly, who is out of Snowstorm Hanover. Snowstorm Hanover, or sorry, a sister to Snowstorm Hanover, who made $658,000 and another 211 internationally by Muscle Massive. Sambuca Hanover, 428. Now, if you look on the bottom, it's a funny story. Snowman Hanover did not make a ton of money. Just was an okay horse. We were, I believe, the underbidders on this horse, and he was well into the 6 figures, if I'm not mistaken. Snowman Hanover, just one of those things, just didn't pan out. But his 2 brothers before him certainly did, and that was Sambuca Hanover and Snowstorm Hanover. This is their green shoe embryo sister, Yearling Hanover. She looks good. I liked her video. I like everything about this filly. Most importantly, I'm curious about the angle of value. What's going to happen with green shoe? Are people going to be shying away from that and combined with the factor of the embryo transfer? Is this going to be something that is a big deal for people? Is this going to be a point of contention? Are we going to be able to find some value here with Yearling Hanover? I'm not sure, but we're all going to find out We're not going to find out tomorrow. We're going to find out on Tuesday, day 2, early day 2 for Yearling, Hanover. Number 281, Phobos. I think it's Phobos. Phobos Hanover. This is Patriarch Hanover's half-sister. Palermo Hanover's half-sister. It's a good family, a personal style family. This is a small filly, but she is June 8th. So a June 8th bar-hopping filly selling here on, it'll be day 2. The start of day 2. First part of day 2. I wouldn't call her big by any stretch, but she's not a midget, and she is well put together. And very correct again, we talked about the bar hopping. Sometimes they can toe out a little bit. This one here is straight as a string. So a very well-bred filly by a sire we like, selling on day 2 here out of Hanover. Really like this filly. She's nice. Number 281, Phobos Hanover, selling on day 2 at Harrisburg. Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Massachusetts. Ready? Number 284, Lindy Lucille. It's a very familiar family. This is the second foal from a Sweet Lou sister to Sintra. Now, obviously, we bought one from that family last year, and certainly shopping in the right place, because I mean, everybody in the second and third dam, they're all tough horses, they're all good race horses. And Sintra, obviously, he wasn't with us for his entirety of his career by any means, but at the same time made quite an impact. So Lindy Lucille, a very interesting prospect here in the sense that she is Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Massachusetts eligible. It's not very often you see that. Very well put together. Captain Treacherous filly, March 5th. Every time I speak about this filly, it makes it more unlikely that we're going to be able to buy her. But at the same time, man, I believe this would be a very, very good pickup for us. Number 284, Lindy Lucille, selling on day number 2 here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. There's 0% chance we'll be able to buy that. Yeah. Sun City Pioneer, number 315. This is a horse we know very well. You may not know this horse very well, depending on how long you've been with us. But not that long ago, we had the full sister to Sun City Pioneer. Her name was Mischievous Rose. You may look her up and you may say to yourself, I don't remember Anthony ever having Mischievous Rose. We did. We broke her, trained her down, raced her first few starts, and then we sold her for quite a bit of money to Determination and Luke Blay. So Mischievous Rose is the full sister to Sun City Pioneer. I love this family originally because in the second dam is the mother of Globetrotting. So we have a number of horses, 2 very, very good fillies that came from this family. $413,000 made by Mischievous Rose. And how much did Glober make? $271. Celebrity DeVille, her mother made $338. So a really, really good family, top to bottom. All kinds of money, all kinds of speed, and absolutely 0 reasons not to like this horse. Number 315, Sin City. I called it Sun City. What an idiot I am. Sin City Pioneer, selling on day number 2 in Harrisburg. What's that? 322. It's always nice to see horses that come from our barn. At some point, you always like to go back and look at them. This is a colt by Sweet Lou. What a good-looking colt, and he's out of Well and Down. We had this mare, this filly, and she was a nice little filly for us. She was small, very dainty filly, but loved her work and always did well for us. We ended up selling her halfway through her 3-year-old year. I think this colt's already 40% bigger than she was. He's a good-looking colt. Worth Worn Out Welcome. Oh, good name, Al. Good name. Worn Out Welcome. So this is a Sweet Lou March 15th colt out of Well and Down. Decent family. You look down on the third dam, you get Eternal Combination. You see she's everywhere, all over the pages and every sale. So a very good colt, buried here in day number 2, halfway through, and his name is Worn Out Welcome, a Sweet Lou March 15th colt, selling on day number 2 in Harrisburg. He's already 40% bigger than his mom was.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 123 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Sealster, a name synonymous with quality. From their picturesque farm in Lucan, Ontario, Sealster Farms has been producing champions for decades. Stars like $650,000 winner Poseidon Sealster, millionaire mares Karma and Kendall Sealster, and two-time O'Brien Award-winning Stockade Sealster. Sealster is also the home of many of Canada's top stallions, like Sunshine Beach, All Bets Off, and world champion superstar Bulldog Hanover, the sport's all-time fastest performer. Find your next champion at Sealster Farms. For more information, visit sealsterfarms.com.
O'Brien Award Breeder of the Year, Tara Hills, is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallions. Green Manalishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi. World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon. His 2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit terrahills.com.
Reach the people you have to reach by advertising in Harness Racing Update, the sport's most comprehensive and timely news source. HRU provides the best bang for your advertising dollars because we reach and engage your potential customers anywhere in the world. Not only has HRU grown its subscriber base by nearly 30% in just 3 years, but our open and click rates far exceed industry averages, which tells us that readers are engaged with the digital publication and how they receive it. Plus, your ad support helps us keep HRU free to subscribers. Find out more today by visiting harnessracingupdate.com and clicking on the advertising link at the top of the page.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
Welcome back here to day 2 of the Harrisburg sale. A little earlier start today. Yesterday 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. start. Today 10 a.m. start. So a little bit earlier here. And before we get started, some few comments. So if you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, we would love for you to comment so we can read some of these comments. And Darcy wants to know where we ate last night.
Well, many of our clients know that a lot of this revolves around food. I know where I want to eat all the time. Lexington's tremendous.
He did ask me about dinner before we even went live yesterday.
Because these are things we have to map out. We ate a steakhouse last night, 1,700 degrees. It was pretty good. but because I've been walking around eating Tootsie Rolls like a 9-year-old child, I didn't eat all my steak, but it was amazing. Everything was great. And it's funny because when you go downtown Harrisburg and you're going you don't really know if you walked out. There's all horsemen. And the entire thing was horsemen. So you can't go into a restaurant anywhere between 6 and 8 o'clock in Harrisburg during the Harrisburg sale and not run into multiple horse people, which is always cool. Our own little world has descended on Harrisburg, and it's always nice. Any time as an industry we can walk around and be familiar with everybody and everything going on, it's always comforting, and that's part of the ambiance, as you say. It's part of what Harrisburg is.
Yeah, it was like you said, we walked out and it was all horsemen at the bar and at all the other tables, and then I saw a comment on Facebook. It said, what was the over-under for today? I think he said it was 3.
It's simple.
Dave, again, what's the over-under for today? I say over
Dave boys.
3.
No, it's not over 3. Dave, it won't be because, it may be, but then that would be it. I am going to stop at 6. We were very fortunate to haul down 48 Sterling Hanover. This is Meshuggah's brother. We were very lucky to do that. I started exactly where I wanted to start with Tavion Hanover, so everything went according to plan. I have a pretty good idea who our pacer is going to be today. I've zeroed in on one particular horse. Now, he is a little bit later in the sale, so it does kind of handcuff me. If we do end up with one that I liked before, then I guess all bets are off. But 2 trotting fillies of the Pennsylvania Persuasion, likely looking at a Chapter 7, and then a pacer, and that will bring us right to that mark of 6.
So over under 3.
It's over.
It's a good line.
It could be over 3 today, but it's still going to be under the overall line of 7.
Of 7. So
John's going to lose his bet. Everyone's going to lose out on this.
I would have taken the over too, so I'm glad I didn't get involved in any action.
No, there's not. No, we are going to stick right to the schedule. Now, the racehorse sale does look quite a bit more interesting than I thought it would. So we'll see how that plays out. If I'm going to be completely frank, this is the first moment I'm opening up the racehorse side of today's sale. Now, today, every horse I could even be remotely interested in is circled, cataloged. John and I and Amy are going to go through all of them as they come up. I can tell you right now, the first 20 hips are not on our list, so that gives us a good 40 minutes to get a head start on. We've already seen all these horses anyway, right. But just to go refresh our memory, say I like this about this horse, I don't like about this horse. Is this really a horse we want to bring home to everybody? There's a number of those horses over the next 2 days, so hitting our number of 6 will not be hard. Staying below the 7 it'll be challenging, but like I said, we have a plan, and I think I can stick to it.
Yeah, you're already getting started on the racehorse. So are you staying throughout that, or would you be bidding online for this?
You know what? That's a great question. Historically speaking, we have left and are bidding online. This is Friday, right?
Sure.
Oh, it says Friday right there. Friday, November 8th, and it starts at...
I think it's 10.
I'm going to say 10. I have to be in Chicago on Saturday. We have What a Lady, What a Night racing, as do we have Allie's Got Grit racing. So my flight is 2 o'clock in the afternoon out of Cleveland. So I have to be in Cleveland by 2 o'clock at the very least. I think we can stay for most or all of Friday if Amy and John want to. Well, John's not, but if Amy wants to, and Steve wants to, it's his car, and then we'll drive home. If we bid online, we bid online. But I can assure you, every horse that we have any interest in, I will be looking at extensively before we go anywhere.
Do you think it's easier to kind of make your mind up on the racehorses just for the sole fact that we've been watching them race for the last 4 months?
You know what? I find it a little more difficult because I don't know what their issues are. Right. I don't know what maintenance has gone on in these horses. Does this horse have knees that bother him? Does this horse have feet that bother him? Oh, this horse got one stifle. I'm trying to find out which horses I like, trying to find out what kind of backstories I can on all of these horses, go in and look and inspect them myself, and then decide, is this a horse that's going to fit? And what I like to say to our clients is to make an immediate impact, a horse that you can put into go and win a race with. That's going to be a shorter list. And then, of course, most importantly, value. What are they going to bring? Because you can't just go in and say, I'm going to buy this horse. Well, that's cool, but how much do you think it's going to bring?
Yeah.
And staying below that watermark is also difficult. So a lot of factors go into what they're worth and what you're willing to pay for them, for sure.
Something I feel like a lot of these trainers, man, maybe you disagree, that do sell some of the top 3-year-olds. Maybe that, like I would say that horse right there is probably a top 3-year-old in the contention.
Well, he definitely is, considering you just said that the 3 top 3-year-olds are retired.
So now he definitely is.
And of course, we're talking about Amazing Catch. I'm not buying Amazing Catch. He's going to go for too much money.
Right.
So there's no issue with me buying him. But a horse like him, I would say the owners are looking at him saying this horse has only won 3 races. That's really hard to believe. So he's won 3. That only makes him more interesting to an entire group of people. So he has 3 lifetime wins, $870,000 made.
Can you believe that? That's a lot of money for 3 wins, right?
You have 3 wins and made just shy of $900,000. That is extraordinary.
You might not go get your picture taken a lot, but
they're worth a lot apparently when you get them. And one of those wins obviously came at 20-1 in the Canadian Trotting Classic for $525,000. So an exceptionally gifted animal.
Right.
And they're probably turning him over because Aki and most of his owners just want 2 very simple things.
And that's what I was getting.
Best young horses and the best age horses.
Trying to get at. A lot of these owners that do put these top horses in the sale are more focused on the 2-year-olds and the 3-year-olds. And a lot of the guys on the trotting side, let's face it, they want to win a Hamiltonian.
Yeah, it's a different.
It's a different, spending $1 million on a baby, they probably have one race in mind.
And that's it. They only want the best of the best. And that makes it not easier for us, but
right.
it opens a lot. Like we just bought Save America off Nancy Tactor maybe 2 months ago. This was not going to be a top pacer in North America, and the owners decided that they only want the best of the best, so he was offered up for sale. And that horse is going to be a foundation horse for us moving forward, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like where our stable is. Our stable is in the middle, where our expectations for the most part are tempered. Sure, I wanted to go out and, win the Breeders' Crown, certainly not get parked in it, but win the Breeders' Crown and win races, and we will get there, but we're doing it in a way that we are building our foundation of our stable slowly. We don't just have somebody come in and say, here's $10 million, win me everything.
Yeah. It doesn't work.
It
like
sounds
that.
nice, but it really isn't, because the reality of that situation is that lady or that gentleman is going to be very disappointed. Historically speaking,
it's harder.
If you're going to look at the numbers, that person is going to be sad come the end of that program. And I would rather us buy horses with the intent of having a good time, with the intent of putting a focus on entertainment, customer service, the experience you have in the barn, and allowing us to slowly, very slowly and vertically build our stable up to where it could be a stable like theirs.
Right.
But we can't do it in 1 year.
No.
We're for our clients out there that have been with us from day one over a decade ago, you look at where we were, right? Rummaging around the bins after Harrisburg, looking for whatever people would give us to train down and race, to being players on not just day one, but all days. It's been a long, slow journey, and the horses we've had along the way and the people we've met along the way have made it all worthwhile, that's for sure.
Well, you do have somebody that agrees with you on a YouTube here. Jake says, I'm confident that Anthony will stay hit the under. So he thinks that...
There's at least...
one.
Send me your email, Jake. You and I are the only 2 people on planet Earth that believe I'm going to stay below that number of 7. But I came here, I felt much more confident what we were going to do. It's always a joke, but, when the sale's over, we got to pay for these horses. And I was so happy with the position we're in as a stable. To be honest, this is the very first time where I've come to Harrisburg not saying, it's going to be a long fall. And it's been a great feeling. And you guys met John Evans yesterday. He's going to play a big role in stabilizing this boat and keeping it buoyant, keeping it above water, and helping move it in the right direction. We've got such a place where I got away from doing the stuff that I loved and was forced into a position where I was left doing stuff I don't love. And to have somebody like John as partner come on has been, it will be incredible for this barn, and it will change.
Almost lifts something off of you.
Lifts a lot off me. And it will change the face of the stable in such a good way over the next 6 months, a year, 2 years. As I said, we have people come up all the time, say, "Hey, I watch all your videos," which is odd, but come out and say, hey, I watch all your videos. I love what you guys are doing, and eventually I'm going to get in with you guys. We're not going anywhere, and I want that to actually to mean something. And you know, everybody that has anything to do with us, whether it's you coming down here and working on the desk, or Curtis, or John, or Amy, all the stuff we do, we all work as hard as we can inside this industry, and to have something come of it, to have it come to fruition is always special, and that's the way I feel every day with the stable.
And Bill wants to know, is it above 45 degrees in the barn today?
It is.
It's warmer than yesterday, I think, for sure.
Well, yeah, there's no icebergs.
No.
It is freezing still. You can't tell me you're warm.
No, I'm
Amy
not
said,
warm
oh,
at
it's
all.
going to be 23 Celsius today. I don't know where, but not in this auditorium, I
No.
can tell you that.
Yeah, I woke up and it's like, oh, it was already like 45 this morning at like 7, and I'm like, okay, it's going to be a little bit warmer
Yeah.
today. But those
It's supposed
sweatshirts
to.
and coats a couple aisles over are looking pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it's cold. I had to go and
All
get a
day
tea.
yesterday it was
freezing.
freezing in here. Everyone I talked to was like, oh, it's going to warm up. It's going to eventually warm up. I can assure you, it never...
Not
in
in
this
here.
part, it wasn't as bad. But if you were walking through the consignments, it was
Hanover?
freezing.
Hey, you can hang meat in the Hanover
Yes.
consignment yesterday. It was
It was
frigid.
freezing. All the horses, when I was leaving, they all had their blankets on. I'm like, that's probably a good idea.
Looks like a good idea,
this
yeah.
time of year.
But it's
Inside or not.
It's been cold, but I mean, this is such a. I think because it's so compartmentalized, you don't realize how massive this
Yeah.
complex is. It is enormous, and then you think it's big here. Walk up to like the bowels where they keep all the horses when they're in receiving. It's unbelievable how
Yeah, I
big
haven't
this
walked
place
too
is.
far that way, but it's just. I made a mistake of saying, "Do you want to go for a walk?" I think we might have walked like a couple miles around here.
Here, you need an Uber to get from where the horses actually leave the complex to where we're sitting right now. It's a hike.
Wade Mason wants to know any thought on getting an Ontario trotting filly today.
Wade is always a possibility, but we did have an Ontario trotting filly, and one that I think very, very highly of in Blue Rare. We picked her up in Lexington, and we're always looking. The problem is that, you know, Harrisburg has become supply and demand driven, right? What our clients have told me they want is what I'm out there looking to buy, especially in Harrisburg, just to keep everything smooth as we head into Christmas season. By the way, I don't know if you're one of these people, but November 1st is the start of Christmas season. You know that, right?
I do know that, and I do watch your videos, so I know that you guys are aware of that too. You don't like Halloween.
I hate Halloween. I like the candy because you know I'm weird, but I hate Halloween. I endure it just for my children, but even they're aware that I dislike it. They were all heading out, and Ava said, "Oh, Dad, you're going to be back from the meadows at 7. Do you want to come out for Halloween?" And even Addie's 5, and she says, "You know he hates Halloween." It's I'm a Christmas guy, and it seems like Halloween is just an annoyance at the
So
start
you
of
like
Christmas.
when you walk into stores in the middle of October and it's already all Christmas?
Ask Amy. We were in New Jersey. We went through that gigantic mall beside the Meadowlands, and Ava has a store that she loves that she goes to in the malls wherever they are, and there happened to be one there, and we walked in. It was all Christmas decorations and all Christmas music. I walked in and my eyes lit up, and Amy just wheeled around and walked right out. She never even walked in. She goes,
Is she not a
no.
Christmas person?
She is, but
At the
she
beginning of
knows
November?
I love Christmas because I love how everybody feels at Christmas. If you're not happy at Christmas, you're
not
just
a-
weird.
Yeah.
And all she recognizes is the work that she would have to put into Christmas, right?
Is your
with the
Christmas
kids.
tree up?
No, I would put it up right now. But I'm one of those guys, like, it's just a fake tree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A couple of years we bought the real tree, put it up, and then throw it out on the back deck. You know, because of course you'll throw it out eventually.
Yep.
And you just watch it decay and step on pine needles for the next 4 months.
24 years old, never had a fake Christmas tree.
You've never had one?
Nope. Always have a real Christmas tree.
No, I'll never go to a real one again.
My dad
Fix it.
loves cleaning up all the pine needles.
That's just odd. That's odd.
It
Pete,
sits in the,
are you kidding me? You like to clean up the pine
it
needles.
sits in the garden for about till the beginning of spring, and then maybe it makes its way to the ditch and whatnot. And yeah. Every year, real Christmas tree. But you're also probably like me. It's got to snow on Christmas, though. For it to be
I
Christmas,
like it to snow, but I'm old enough now where I'd like to go away for Christmas. I've never been able to.
I would love to.
Because our family just can't agree on anything. So my parents
we
usually
have a lot in common.
Oh yeah, they go. They come up one year and then they'll go here. And I told everybody, hey, we can have Christmas at our place that we're staying at in Ohio right now. But of course, nobody wants to come over to Ohio because it's at it's a long drive, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, all of a sudden driving is cumbersome. But I love everything about Christmas. You know,
Wait, now I need to know, do you skip right to Christmas because Canadian Thanksgiving is...
That's true too, is that the Canadian Thanksgiving is in October, right?
Right, so then you don't have anything. Like, I'm used to having Thanksgiving in the middle of
November, so
Right.
it's a short jump, but it's a long drive.
Do you celebrate the American Thanksgiving now that you've been in Ohio for a few years?
I'm in horse racing. We don't get holidays.
Okay,
it's just
fair.
a day that everybody's eating turkey and we don't know why, is all it is.
Very fair.
Yeah. How are you?
Tuxedo Hill, just holding over.
Yeah, he's training down.
Okay.
No problem.
Good to
A
know.
little. I mean, I had listened a couple times when you were.
And with
Like-
a few side conversations,
You follow
we
some of the
will,
videos?
I do.
Send it
Oh,
to
you'd be able
a
to see
commercial.
yourself
We'll
later
be back
on then.
here live day 2 from Harrisburg.
Winback Farm of Delaware is home to 8 exceptional stallions. New in 2024, Nutcracker Sweet, a full brother to Double Millionaire Better Sweet and half brother to the Great Sweet Lou. World Champion He's Watching, a proven sire of stakes winners, including Double Millionaire Tattoo Artist, Sports Column, an Ontario Sire Stakes star, and a 19-time winner. Top Flight Angel, who won the Yonkers Trot Final and is a multiple New York Sire Stakes champion. Also standing, Badlands Hanover, Classic Card Shark, Glide Master, and Ronnie Spags again. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com.
O'Brien Award Breeder of the Year, Terra Hills, is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallions. Green Manalishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi. World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon. His 2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit terrahills.com.
Reach the people you have to reach by advertising in Harness Racing Update, the sport's most comprehensive and timely news source. HRU provides the best bang for your advertising dollars because we reach and engage your potential customers anywhere in the world. Not only has HRU grown its subscriber base by nearly 30% in just 3 years, but our open and click rates far exceed industry averages, which tells us that readers are engaged with the digital publication and how they receive it. Plus, your ad support helps us keep HRU free to subscribers. Find out more today by visiting harnessracingupdate.com and clicking on the advertising link at the top of the page.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 123 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Sealster, a name synonymous with quality. From their picturesque farm in Lucan, Ontario, Sealster Farms has been producing champions for decades. Stars like $650,000 winner Poseidon Sealster, millionaire mares Karma and Kendall Sealster, and two-time O'Brien Award-winning Stockade Sealster. Sealster is also the home of many of Canada's top stallions, like Sunshine Beach, All Bets Off, and world champion superstar Bulldog Hanover, the sport's all-time fastest performer. Find your next champion at Sealster Farms. For more information, visit sealsterfarms.com.
Winback Farm of Delaware is home to 8 exceptional stallions. New in 2024, Nutcracker Sweet, a full brother to double millionaire Bittersweet and half brother to the Great Sweet Lou. World champion He's Watching, a proven sire of stakes winners, including double millionaire tattoo artist, sports column, an Ontario Sire Stakes star, and a 19-time winner. Top Flight Angel, who won the Orchestra final and is a multiple New York Sire Stakes champion. Also standing, Badlands Hanover, Classic Card Shark, Glide Master, and Ronnie's Bags again. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com.
O'Brien Award Breeder of the Year, Tara Hills is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallions. Green Manalishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi.
With
World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon. His 2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit terrahills.com.
Back here live from Harrisburg, day 2 of the sale. Again, get started a little bit earlier here today. I'm joined by a very special guest as we let Anthony run off, and I'll probably not see him again all morning long now. Joined by Blake McIntosh. Thank you, Blake, for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Jenna.
Now, we were talking a little bit before we came on. You bought one horse here out of Harrisburg yesterday. Tell us a little bit about that purchase.
We bought a Stay Hungry colt. I love Village Madonna. I'd liked the family before and been outbid on a couple of them. And, we weren't really looking for a PA bred pacing colt, but we got shit out on all the trotting fillies, so we ended up with that.
It seems to be the story here. Everyone looking for a trotting filly, and there was fireworks, plenty of them yesterday on day 1. But I know you were active down in Lexington as well. How many did you get down there?
We brought home 19 from Lexington. So
that's a lot. That's plenty, right?
32 total babies right now.
And what's the number that you typically want to try to stay around?
I want to be around 15, so we've done really well.
You have reached the expectations, and I don't know if you know this, but I was looking up a little bit of stats from you. You have conquered over 1,250 wins this year, and almost a record year with over $2.3 million in earnings. You just have to get to about 2.5 to surpass your highest earning year.
Yeah, that's funny that you're looking at the U.S. stats and the Canadian stats.
Well, I guess it's U.S., yeah.
Yeah, in the Canadian stats, we've got over $3 million, and that's our biggest year so far.
So that's, it's got to equal out, right?
Yeah.
To make sure that it's... A lot of people around here use the Standardbred Canada, but I guess I'm so familiar with the Pathway and just have Pathway username and password to go on in, but I do forget the little currency.
The currency exchange is big, so especially at 35% right now.
Did you get any horses out of London, the London sale?
Yeah, we got 7 out of London.
So Jess and I, and Justin and my dad, and one of my friends went up there to be a partner on a horse. He was kind of like on sale because we take our American money, exchange it, and get like a $4,000 discount off.
Yeah, it's huge for you guys, for us, because we race in the States and Canada, we don't notice it as much when we're buying U.S. horses.
Right.
Because we have U.S. income coming in. But, and then we pay with Canadian and Canada. So it's sort of, we don't really notice the exchange, but a lot of people do notice the exchange.
My friends always want to go over to Windsor, and of course, growing up going to all the different Canadian tracks with my dad, I'm well aware of the exchange rate, but they think it's so cool when you cross the border and go exchange their money and they get so much more back in Canadian. It's like,
yeah, their drinks are half price.
I know, right? And I was like, guys, don't forget, now when we come back, we got to make it American again, and you're going to be very sad. You might be happy going there, but we're going to be very sad when we come back. And but yeah, so day 2, Harrisburg. What are we looking at today?
We're going to try for some more trotting fillies, and I think there's 2 trotting colts and maybe a couple pacers.
And I know you said you were a winner of the New York Sire Stake final.
Yeah, for 2-year-old pacing colts, the Courtly choice, which is important to me,
right,
to win with that. And yeah, we've had a really good year.
Did you invest more in the New York breds?
We always go strong on New York. I think we probably have 10 to 12 New York breds right now.
And that's a program that's kind of on the rise as well, right?
Oh, it's a great program. I've always said it's one of the best programs. You've got 7 sire stakes and then the final. And, now they've added a $250,000 race in the middle of the season. So you've got a $250,000 middle of the season and a $300,000 final. So it's just unreal.
Now, was this the first year that it went for $300,000, or is that coming up?
This is coming up in 2025.
So it's the Sire Stake programs all over America, I feel like, are getting to the point where the finals are going for about $300,000 across the board.
PA's, let's be honest, PA's the weakest one right now for Sire Stakes, and the toughest.
Right.
So we try and stay out of PA. We try in Ontario and New York.
And so New York, there's 7 legs in a final?
7 legs in a final, yeah.
And obviously
plus
you have
this new race they added in the middle of summer. So it ends up being 8 races.
Is that race doesn't count for points though, does it?
No, it doesn't count for points.
Is there a consolation for the New York?
There used to be. I don't think there is anymore.
And then the finals, was it at Yonkers this year?
It was at Yonkers this year. It travels around. I think it was Tioga a couple of years ago and Vernon, and it travels around.
I think New York is interesting because you have a 7/8, a 5/8, and a half mile, right?
Yeah, a lot of half miles because you got
majority
Batavia,
half
Buffalo,
miles,
and
does each one of those tracks get a leg?
Each track gets a leg.
That's pretty cool. In Ohio, we just have obviously the 5/8 and the half mile track, and I think it's every year it bounces back and forth, or every third year it bounces back and forth. Dayton, Scioto, Northfield, and like this year, Northfield only can have 9, and so it has to have a trailer on a half mile, so that when it goes to Dayton and Scioto, you can have 10 in the final.
Yeah.
So it's
makes sense.
It doesn't really seem like that big of a difference, but that one horse that's sitting 10th would normally be able to go for $300,000 and maybe only has to go for $100 instead. But it's a very interesting program.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to be that last horse going for $28,000 where you can win,
Right. A lot of people do play the point system, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's like this, but in Ohio you can race in the Buckeye Stallion Series final. I think it goes for $75, and then you can race in the Consolation, which is technically the Gray Championship for $100.
Really? No, that's not. I don't agree with stuff like that, but
it's
it's like this year in the Ontario Sire Stakes, you could race if you won the grassroots final, you could race in the super final for the golds. And I don't think that's fair because
you're it's a step up, but you know what you have by then.
But you're also racing against easier horses all year. At the end of the year, those guys are all tired, and you're sort of fresher.
Right.
So, but hey, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, and but it is good to see across the board the Sire Stakes program picking up, and it allows, obviously, as we've seen yesterday, it allows people to bring more money to the sales, and there was a lot of fireworks.
There was,
it
was really tough to beat Marcus and Nancy.
If they want one, they typically bring it home.
And Andrew, if Andrew wants one, there's no stopping him.
No, he doesn't have it's like an endless bucket.
I don't, hey, good for him.
So the yearlings, and then the racehorse sale, and there's a few brood mares. Are we just sticking to the yearlings here in Harrisburg, or you think you might take home a few racehorses?
We're selling 5 racehorses, but I've had some owners call me about wanting to buy out some of their partners on other horses and send them to us. So we'll be sticking around, seeing what we can get.
No brood mares or anything like that?
Not for myself. My partners will buy brood mares, and
just strong racehorse though. We were just talking about it. There's plenty of very nice horses.
There's a lot of nice horses in there, and it's going to be tough to buy them, just like always. So
I feel like touched on it with Anthony a little bit. A lot of these trainers and owners, and maybe more than the trainers, are so focused on just keeping the babies, like the 2 and 3 year olds. And then Harrisburg's a great opportunity to maybe let those horses go, and they're nice horses in themselves. Just they are more focused on all the yearlings they have and all the 2 year olds they got to bring back at 3.
Well, a guy like me, like we can't keep them all. You know, we've got 75 horses. I don't know the exact number right now, but you know, we've got a barn at Mark Ford's, which we keep 12 horses for the winter down there. And then we're trying to balance a little bit up home so the grooms can have some horses to race, you know, so they're not losing out on paddocks. And so, you know, you try and keep a mix, but you just can't do it sometimes.
Yeah, it's getting more difficult to pluck them out, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And to get rid of maybe some nicer horses that you don't want to see go.
You don't want to see them go, but you also need money to reinvest into the yearlings. So, you know, that's the other thing.
And you do some drone shots as well for some of your owners?
Yeah, we drone once a month. Curtis comes out and drones once a month for us, and the owners love it, you know, because we've got a lot of American owners, and we've got a lot of guys down the East Coast, and they love watching their horse. So it's, you know, for what it costs us, it's great.
Yeah, and what else was I going to touch on there? It brings a new view. I'll go sit up with our judges, and you know, the thoroughbreds have the drones that follow them throughout the race, and it's very easy to see the interference maybe, and I think it'd be cool if we could get that on the harness.
It'd be great to have, and I think it'd be a great idea to have in the race. You know, some horses will spook from it, but ours are used to it now.
Right,
so
and
they'll get used to it after a while.
You'd be able to tell so much easier, like if people do interfere, maybe some of the camera angles can be deceiving.
You'd also see more whipping fines too. So.
Yeah, maybe for the driver's sake, they
wouldn't be happy about that.
We would not want to do that. It doesn't take much these days to get those, but. Drone angles, very cool. So that's cool that you do that for your owners, as I'm sure everyone watching from the stable is very familiar with that, as Anthony sends out lots of videos like that. As we do get rolling closer and closer to sale time. Early start here.
Yeah, 10 o'clock, so we should get some more horses.
Yeah, you got to get here. I said jokingly that if people are watching live, they probably think it's pre-recorded because I don't wake up at 8 a.m. But we'll get you back looking at the yearlings, and hopefully you bring home some new purchases here on day 2. Thank you for stopping by, as it's always good to catch up with you.
Thanks, Jenna.
And best of luck here today.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Reach the people you have to reach by advertising in Harness Racing Update, the sport's most comprehensive and timely news source. HRU provides the best bang for your advertising dollars because we reach and engage your potential customers anywhere in the world. Not only has HRU grown its subscriber base by nearly 30% in just 3 years, but our open and click rates far exceed industry averages, which tells us that readers are engaged with the digital publication and how they receive it. Plus, your ad support helps us keep HRU free to subscribers. Find out more today by visiting harnessracingupdate.com and clicking on the advertising link at the top of the page.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
Sealster, a name synonymous with quality. From their picturesque farm in Lucan, Ontario, Sealster Farms has been producing champions for decades. Stars like $650,000 winner Poseidon Sealster, millionaire mares Karma and Kendall Sealster, and 2-time O'Brien Award-winning Stockade Sealster. Sealster is also the home of many of Canada's top stallions, like Sunshine Beach, All Bets Off, and world champion superstar Bulldog Hanover, the sport's all-time fastest performer. Find your next champion at Sealster Farms. For more information, visit sealsterfarms.com.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
Back live here from Harrisburg, day 2, bright and early this morning. Another very special guest, as we probably won't see Anthony all again, maybe the end of the live. Randy, it's so nice to be joined by you, and I've just learned so much about the stable in the past few days, and really you're a staple part here to the stable.
Yeah, I was just telling you that we started a number of years ago. Actually, Anthony found the picture on his old photo feed that he texted me last week. I read an article on USTA about this guy named Anthony McDonald that was starting this fractional ownership group, and I said, oh, that's pretty cool. We'll look for him. And then we went to the Ohio sale. Anthony was in a white T-shirt. I said, hey, Dad, I think that's the guy that's doing this. We went and talked. We got our picture taken, started with the horses, and now here we are doing this.
How many years ago was that?
That was probably 7 years ago, approximately.
So maybe when the stable was...
Yeah, right at its infancy, for sure.
And we had dinner last night, and I sat by you guys, and your dad had a pretty cool story about how he first got involved in the business. He had plenty of years ago went and borrowed $1,000 from the bank. You were able to borrow money on just your signature back then, and he came and bought a horse in Lexington.
That's right, yeah, so it was interesting. I was 3 years old, so I guess they thought the best thing to do was, why don't we go buy a racehorse? But yeah, him and 2 buddies went to the bank. They each went to the loan officer and said, hey, we each need to take out a $1,000 loan. And the loan officer says, well, what for what? And he goes, we're going to go buy a racehorse. And he goes, oh, okay. And he gave him the loan. Why would you give them a loan to buy a race?
Wish it was that easy these days,
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So they bought a horse for $3,200, and actually it was pretty cool. As a Christmas present, I got in touch with some old sale catalog archives, and I found the original sale page of the first horse they ever bought, and then framed it for him, and it's hanging in his office.
Yeah, he said they bought that one, raced it, had 4 wins or something, and then they bred it to Niatross or something, and it was just the whole story, and he hasn't missed Lexington in 56 years or something. He's been there every year.
That's where him and my mom went on their honeymoon, was Lexington. Most places, people are going to Florida or California or some island, and they're off to Lexington, Kentucky.
Love it. And how long have you been around owning horses for?
Yeah, so in 2006, my dad came to me. We worked together. We're both small animal veterinarians, and he said to me, hey, do you think you're ready to buy a racehorse? And I said, sure. So we bought a horse named Prime Suspect with Ivan Sugg was the trainer, and she was a Ponderosa filly, and it was a pretty good start. We won the Reynolds. She was 3rd in the Audio Volo, so it was they weren't all that easy, but she was a nice, and then it just kind of spiraled completely uncontrolled from there.
So being based out of Ohio, I see your guys' name a lot with Brian Brown, correct?
Yep.
You said 10 different trainers.
Yeah, we currently have 10 different trainers on there that we have a lot of different yearlings with. We started as primarily pacer people, really swore that we'd never have a trotter, and then again, unfortunately, we met Anthony, and now we have a bunch of trotters that have done very well. So it's been really cool, but it's been really nice with all the different trainers, just learning about their different training methods and doing that. And our goal each year is to try to have horses that are racing sire stakes to Grand Circuit. I mean, that's really what we want.
And you're based out of up by Cleveland, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We're on the west side of Cleveland.
So you come up, do you ever come down to Scioto Downs at all?
Yeah, we come down to Scioto Downs and race down there, and it's really, I mean, the new grandstand, everything is just
new
phenomenal.
Paddock on its way.
New paddock on its way, that's
Remind
right.
Me,
it's going to be great.
It's coming along very well, and so you've probably been along for the real upkeep of the Ohio Sire Stakes then.
Oh yeah,
You said Sire Stakes, the Grand Circuit. I mean, the Buckeye Stallion Series is just, it's an incredible.
Well, that was one of the things, our first horse was a Pennsylvania bred, and one of the reasons, I mean, Ohio races were going for $2,000 overnights. I mean, we were winning Sire Stakes, I think, like maybe 20,000 a leg on there, and we were winning in 58-1 with a pacing filly. I mean, now, and my dad and I had a serious talk, like, I don't know how much longer this is going to be able to keep going. And then we got the Racinos through, and it's been completely revitalized, and now it's one of the absolute toughest places to race in the country.
So with the stable, you're down as owner as well on the stable paper. Take us through, like, when you come to the races, do you just watch? Does Anthony tell you anything or anything?
Yeah, we're mostly watch. We don't try to get too involved in telling what to do. We're much better at telling what should have happened than what should happen.
Much better at analyzing it after the fact.
Yeah, that's right. We have a lot more advice after the race than before. But as far as like the sales and that, I mean, it's been a really nice relationship with Anthony, because Dad and I are very involved in looking at horses, looking at yearlings. I mean, I don't even know how many 1,000 yearling videos I've watched this fall. Yeah, I mean, and we pick out, and it's just been such a great partnership, because we see things we like, Anthony sees things he likes. We're starting to learn each other, what we like together, and then we kind of mesh those lists together and see what we come up with.
I seen you bought one horse yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know, is that it? Or
yeah,
was
we
there
actually
more?
bought 2 Pacers on there that we have with other groups on there. We bought a Always Be Mickey Colt, hip 46, and then we were really shocked. We got hip 141, which is a full sister to Captain Midnight and Captain Trevor, towards the end of the sale yesterday.
So that wasn't a bad pickup at all?
No, I mean, just as a broodmare alone, she's worth that. But she's a really, really nice horse. And that's the thing about sales. I mean, we make a list. We say maybe each day, here are 10 horses that we are going to be there for, and probably 8 of those 10 are way out of range.
Yep.
And
it's fun to look at.
But they're fun to look at. They're fun to watch the action. But then you get one that falls in. You're like, and those are the ones you usually run back and say, what did I miss? What's wrong with them? Things like that. But we couldn't find anything wrong with them, so we're happy with what we got.
Do you bid on the horses yourself, or does your dad?
I do. I do the bidding. Yeah, actually, the fun story about yesterday was hip 141. We had, the way the Captain Treacherouses were selling, we thought we had 0 chance to get her. So he went to the bathroom, ended up talking with some friends. He comes back about 20 minutes later. He goes, "What'd you do?" I said, "I bought a horse." And so that's how we got 141. So, but yes, I do the bidding. But everything we do is in lockstep.
So, personal question. Does your heart still beat when you get that bidding on?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I bid on a couple years ago, or last year in Lexington, I was able to bid on a horse for a guy, not even for myself.
Yeah.
It was just kind of fun and games, and I mean, my heart felt like it was about ready to explode. Does that ever go away?
No, it never goes away, and it especially gets worse right when you get to the point where the bidding's slowing down, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in this. Like when you're like got the bid, and you're like hit the hammer, and
Isn't
they don't.
It so frustrating when you're like, I got it. Then somebody, like, you think the hammer should hit.
Yeah.
And then somebody else gets a bid in.
Oh yeah, I know. You're so close.
And then do you if it happens, do you let it go back to the other person? Like, I'm gonna let you think you have this.
Yeah, right. And then you agonize on, do I do one more? And you're trying to analyze what you think of the thought process of the person you're bidding against, and the answer is you don't even know who you're bidding against. So, but yeah, I mean, it's, between the horse sales and the horse racing, I mean, that definitely keeps your heart rate going.
That's one over there, as I keep looking over there, that's one that probably belongs in the Otten stable. It gets a little hot and jumpy out in the aisleways.
Yeah, that one's hot.
He's out there dancing around and feeling himself, I guess.
Yeah, whenever the grooms say, watch this one, they're a little hot and jumpy, I'm always say, well, the good news is I don't have to train it. I'll just send it to Anthony, let him deal with it.
Yeah, let him deal with it.
Yeah, so that's kind of the way we look at it.
So Never goes away, huh? The heart
Never
racing,
goes
the
away.
bidding.
Whether they're at there is no adrenaline rush like being at a sale, bidding on a horse, having your horse behind the starting gate. I mean,
I always say I'm done getting nervous. I'm done getting nervous, and then we'll have a fair race going for $5,000, and my heart's beating out of my chest, and I can barely breathe.
Yeah, I have a outdoor TV at home that I watch a lot of the races on, and my wife was pulling in from the grocery store, and just as a race was going off and she could hear me yelling in the backyard, she came running back to find out what was going on, and she goes, "Oh, you're just watching a race," you know. So, but yeah, that's it's a great adrenaline rush for sure.
So day 1 in the books, you got 2. Anything on tap for day 2 and 3?
Yeah, we're still looking. We'll hopefully maybe get a nice trotting filly or 2 today would be nice. Got a couple.
Seems like those are a hot commodity.
It's really become the hot commodity at most sales. If you look at the sale averages from the last few years, I mean, it's trotting fillies, and I think it's just because their market is so much bigger when you throw Europe in with that too.
Yeah, and any racehorses on tap?
Our thing is I always joke with Anthony, like we try to have some form of business model, although this is probably not ideal, but we only race 2 and 3 year olds. So no matter how good, in very rare exceptions, like for example, we own Arson. We're going to keep him. Yeah, he races today at 1:30. So.
And the Kentucky Sire Stake
Sire Stake final at Cumberland. So he's in race 3. I think he drew the 6 hole. Tough field of horses. That's a jurisdiction that's getting way tougher.
Crazy.
For sure.
I haven't even talked about that all week. And what Kentucky you have like Arson he's 4, correct?
He'll going on 4 next year.
Going on 3.
Yeah.
But even right now, the Kentucky, he had a Sire Stake series at, is it Corbin or is it Corbin now?
Corbin's now. So he won the Sire Stakes final at Oak Grove in the spring.
So yeah, there's 3 Sire Stakes, right?
Yeah.
Oak Grove,
Lexington, and Corbin. And so, I mean, it's a great program, but it's just getting tougher and tougher. I was actually amazed at this sale it used to be Lexington had all the dual jurisdictions, and here was pretty much it states individually. I was really amazed how many Kentucky eligibles are here too.
I feel like it's so common, and maybe more people picked up on, I guess not how easy, because it's not easy at any means to ship your broodmare all over, but how easier it has been to be dual eligible, and how worth it's been for the consignments to make their mares dual eligible, because they just feel like it brings so much more money.
Brings up so much of a champion. You look at the money they're racing for in Kentucky and all the different levels. I mean, it just adds so much, but it's going to just keep getting tougher and tougher on there. But some of the large trainers are now buying farms in Kentucky to put broodmares at. There's a new training center that I think just opened up this year. So I mean, it's going to be a much bigger deal and get much tougher.
And the Red Mile allowing people to stay there through the end of this meet is it's pretty phenomenal watching the Kentucky program come all together.
Oh, for sure. And I think that what a great thing to do, to have those horses be able to train on that track, and just
so forgiving.
So forgiving, so much easier on them. I mean, I think it just freshens so many horses up when they are able to train and jog on that track. But it just makes it so much more convenient that you just don't have that long ship that maybe you would have otherwise.
So did you go down to Lexington? Do you go down to Lexington for the sale?
Yep.
Obviously.
Yep.
For
I
the
was
whole
down
weekend.
there for the sale. We were there the whole week.
It almost freshens people up too.
Yeah,
it's a nice little spot.
It's great.
Obviously, your dad went there for his honeymoon.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know that many people in the world can say that, but they did. But yeah, I love going down there. It's it's just beautiful. It's fall. Everyone's kind of dressed up, and it's just great to see everyone. And I was thinking this morning, we have Lexington, we have this, and then it's kind of the lull, where everyone kind of goes to their places, gets through the holidays, and as a horse owner, I think now the big thing is you just sit here and wait for your staking list to come out into January.
More bills to pay, right?
Yeah, more bills to pay, but the excitement that comes with that when you start looking through and you think in January a horse hasn't even been in 2:30 yet, you know, and you're like, okay, what's our schedule this year? Where are we going to go?
And I always joke with the people that, you know, racing to the end, or I guess it's about Jug Week, maybe Hambo for me. I start seeing the people, you know, at the Jug in Lexington, and then you go right to basically Breeders' Crown, not right to, but then you go to Breeders' Crown, and then, you know, you see them you don't see them throughout the winter months. You go January, and then like that 4-month period, you see the same people week in and week out, and it's just it's so much fun. And then Lexington, you obviously see the same people at the sale, and it's fun to, how many did you buy today? How many did you buy today? What did you get today?
Yeah.
What were you the underbidder on today?
Right. I think, I just love the friendships we develop. You know, you talk, you tell the stories. You're sitting there. Sometimes you buy a horse and you're like, I don't even have a plan for this horse. And then, but you're putting groups together and figuring out who's going to train it and do that. One of our best underbidder story is we were one of the underbidders on Be a Magician.
Ooh.
We saw her here, and she was absolutely the best yearling I've ever seen in my life. Dad and I we didn't even like trotters at that time. And then we see this yearling and we're like, oh my gosh, she is phenomenal. I think she ended up at that time going for 95 or something. It wasn't an astronomical number, but wish you would have kept going on that one.
And that was before you even liked trotters.
Yeah, she was just that great looking.
And she went for 95,000.
I think it was around 95, but she was you just looked at her and you're like, that is what a yearling should look like.
I know, those horses that went for 450 or 400 or even like 200, and of course the one yesterday that went for $1 million. I would love to know or watch just the people bid back and forth with each other. Yeah. You see who buys it. I almost want to see the underbidder too.
Yeah.
Or just be able to watch it. But some people are so sneaky, literally sneaky on how they bid. You might not even know who's bidding.
You don't know. I mean, it's funny. Some are very in the open about it. Some are peeking around a curtain. Some are hiding in a corner somewhere. It's very interesting. We all love this. We all do this. I always joke that, probably in 95% of the cases, you wish you were the underbidder on most horses you ended up buying, right? I mean, you're like, but that's what makes it so fun.
But you probably don't forget if they do end up going and winning something, you probably don't forget if you're the underbidder on that one.
Right. That is correct. Yeah, you don't forget. Yeah, you're like, oh, and it's a good story to tell.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been on that horse.
I almost was the owner to winning this.
I almost owned it,
I almost can feel the win because I was in the sale ring that day, right?
And then
it's painful.
You don't get anything for being the underbidder, but that's the part about
story,
it.
Right?
But it is a good story.
But there are the ones maybe that you were the underbidder on a $200,000 yearling that maybe came back and only made $20,000, and that's the one where you're like,
that's right.
Thankfully, I was the underbidder on that one.
Yeah, that's right. One of the other stories real quick that this week is we looked at a Better Slight many years ago, and I saw her in the sale catalog as a broodmare. We like, oh, we're not buying that horse, or like hock was swollen or something on there. She's a first dam, made $500,000. Wish we would have bought that one too, but you got to have principles and you got to kind of follow your plan, and the rest is luck, and that's the biggest driver of this business.
So you've been looking at yearlings for plenty of years.
Yeah.
Is it catalog, video, in person?
Usually we go video first. Does this horse look like it could race? We look, and people argue about this all the time.
Nobody's right.
Nobody's right. We love the video. We want to say, does this horse look athletic? And then we see, does the page match with that? And then we come look at him here.
And then a range, right?
Yeah, in a range, yeah. We have always found for us like that 30 to 70, 30 to 80 range has been our most successful range for sure. I think you can get some really good horses if you're patient and watch how the sales go. But that's at least gives you a chance, I think, to get a really good horse and potentially a chance to at least end up okay at the end of it.
I feel like I've heard a couple times this week, maybe a $40,000 page with a $200,000 video.
Yeah.
The video just like stand out, and then you go look at his page and it's like maybe not the strongest of pedigrees, but with the video, and then you go look at him in person, like looks like a racehorse, athletic and everything. And then you look at the page, and then you're like, yeah, this is about a $40,000 yearling.
Right.
And then it brings 240.
That's right. Yeah, I remember, you see some videos and these amazing horses, and that's something we probably have gotten better with. We try not to get duped by just the page or just the video. You're trying to look and say, can you put this together and say, we ask ourselves on any of these horses, does this horse look like it has the ability to be racing under the lights in a big race on there? And that goes with body type, page, video, everything. And again, you try not to get sucked into just the page, and you try not to just get sucked into the video, and really try to be objective about it.
Well, Randy, we are only 20 minutes away from sale time. This has flown by, and I think we have some more packages that Anthony has put together for us. So we will go look at some of the yearlings Anthony looked at this morning and yesterday, and hopefully can capitalize on some of those purchases, and hopefully you capitalize on some of those horses that you are looking at today. And as always, thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure to get to know you this past week.
Well, thank you. It's been great. Look forward to talking to you again.
Number 372, Longshore. Another one of these American Ideals. This really athletic looking filly in her video. Medium sized, quite a bit smaller than the Colt, but she is a filly. And this is the direct family of Boston Red Rocks and McSeaside. Lots of speed and lots of money in this family. And she moves really, really nice in her video. I saw her out also after I saw the first guy out. Built totally different, but both have very, very sharp heads on them. And I like number 372, Longshore. I don't know where she fits in what we're trying to do. As I said to everybody out there, we're looking for some trotting fillies in Pennsylvania, trotting colts, high-end pacer, high-end trotter. I just don't know where Longshore fits in, but I did reserve the right for a flyer. And I don't know if Longshore is that particular flyer, but she is one good-looking filly. Number 372, this is a May 21st. Geez, she's pretty filled out for May 21st. May 21st filly selling on day number 2 here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Hi. You don't like 37 as much as me? This is number 390, Chick Magnet Hanover. They're not all perfect. We looked at this horse and it only took a second to figure out he's toed in pretty good, what you call pigeon-toed. We do have horses that have done very well like this. It's, I guess you call it a minor affliction that you can work with shoeing, but it does put undue pressure on the horse's knees. So you have to be aware of that as you're training the horse down. And it is not uncommon. So again, when I'm looking at Chick Magnet Hanover, I'm thinking, okay, what is this horse worth? And how much value can I find in this particular issue? This is out of a colt out of Charmed Life. Now, Charmed Life was a very, very good horse, and we've had some horses out of this family. Canterbury Hanover took a 2-year-old mark at 57, 3-year-old mark at 53, made $250,000. That would be the half brother or sister, I'm not sure, to Chick Magnet Hanover. Good family, top to bottom, is towed in. So, what's that worth? And is it something that we can work with? Usually what I'll do is go back and look at the video, which does not look bad, and then make a decision whether we really want the towed-in green shoe out of Charmed Life or whether we do not. That will depend on what is going on in the ring when she is in the ring. So 390, I don't mind this colt, but I would find it hard to believe that we don't have other spots filled on the bus. So I'm not optimistic we will get 390. It is a possibility, and we will be watching Chick Magnet Hanover. This is number 400, Alcatraz Blue Chip. This is a shadow play. This is one of the only Ontario-bred pacing colts. I've made up my mind I'm not going to buy an Ontario pacing colt, or I thought I wasn't. But man, oh man, Alcatraz Blue Chip. This is a March 13th colt, and he looks very good. His video looks good. He looks even better in person. Now this is Cheesy Smiles' brother. Oh, down in the second dam is Hayden Hanover. We were looking at a horse later on in the sale that is out of the second dam is the first dam of that horse. So again, it's just weird how you look through these sales and you see such close families in such close proximity. Number 400, Alcatraz Blue Chip. A really, really good looking horse. Great video, great page. Just a horse that is absolutely worth buying. Now, although I said I may not buy an Ontario Pacer, I do have room for a high-end pacing horse or filly. And this horse could end up being that horse. What a good-looking horse this is. Number 400, Alcatraz, Blue Chip, Ontario and Massachusetts eligible colt, selling here on day number 2 at Blue Chip. Number 417, Dima Hanover. This is a May 15th filly by Green Shoe. Sound familiar? We've looked at a few of these today. This is the sister to Dab Hanover. Took a 2-year-old mark of 53 and 4, made 153,000. She's breeding horses. Zachary Hanover, Dwight Hanover. The second dam is Guccio Lagerfeld. You see this line through almost every sale you go to, and this is just another one of them. Good looking filly here. I liked her video. I like everything about her. Again, I'm going to lean towards value, right? Are we going to find any here in Hanover? Are we going to find any with the green shoes? We only have so many spots on the bus, and I'm trying my hardest to stick to the seating arrangement. I may not know the names, but I know how many we have. And this is number 417, selling on day 2. This is Dima Hanover. Does she have a spot in the bus? I don't know yet. We're all going to find out tomorrow. Number 417, nope, my apologies. We're going to find out on Tuesday. Number 417, Dima Hanover, selling on day 2 in Harrisburg.
Why don't you just get 12 or 14 minutes? It's less than that.
What's that?
Just say 12 or 14 or something. It's 10 minutes.
Well, International Money, Bar Hopping, they've both done very well for us as sires, and I like number 422, I Want Money. This is a good-looking horse, and you guys know Steve. This is Steve's horse, actually. I guess I knew that. And April 7th, International Money filly. Really, really nice video, moves nice. I like everything about I Want Money. Very interested to see what she's going to go for. As far as the international monies are concerned, I'd say she is about the tall side of medium, I believe. See her walk here. Her video's nice. She looks nice. Obviously, I'm always a little leery. I wanted to come over and look at her for Steve, and man, she is one good-looking filly. So I like I Want Money, number 422. Going to be super selective in this sale, but for the right price at the right time. If you see Steve cursing and swearing over in the corner, it's probably because we bought her. So number 422, I Want Money, selling here on day number 2 in Harrisburg. That left front foot might be a little bit clubby. Tiny bit.
Well, the only reason why I would say it's not that bad is...
It's not that bad.
We're about to be live.
Okay.
Another very special guest on the desk here this morning. A busy, probably, guest, Tom Grossman, owner of the Blue Chip Farms. And how's the sale going for you? Day 1 in the books?
Day 1 was good. We basically were on budget. We all got to the overall number with some big individual surprises, a couple very disappointing, and one sort of cleaned up the mess for the rest of them.
Is that how it goes? You kind of set probably a number for each horse, of course, that you take through the ring, and there's probably some that, really hit the expectation, and then there's probably some that are like, wow, why didn't I hit the number that I wanted to?
It's amazing. Year in and year out, we have, 5 or 6 that sell for half of what we would have thought, and 1 or 2 that sells for 2 or 3 times at what we thought. And at the end of 70 horses and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, it's basically what you were looking for.
A huge consignment here at Harrisburg. How many horses did you put through day 1? How many do we have left?
We sold 9, and we have 42 left.
So busy week here. And,
some for clients, but mostly our own.
Did you, how big was the consignment in Lexington? Any?
We were smaller this year, it's an art figuring out who to bring where or whatever. And this year we're definitely heavier weighted towards Harrisburg than average. We only brought, I think, 10 to Lexington.
How did that go for you?
We were a little light in Lexington. I brought the wrong horses, to be honest. You need the right horse in Lexington, and unfortunately you have to decide 3 or 4 months before the sale, so sometimes we're saying maybe another month of growing would be good in Harrisburg, and they need to be ready to walk the walk in Lexington.
I've told a couple people this week, I would not want to be the ones to go around and decide who goes where. It's got to be
very hard.
Too stressful. And
like, we just had a big review of our weanlings now, already, so we got an idea of that's 2 years from now. The yearlings are in the pen, and you keep doing reviews, and at this point, a lot of the mothers, we've had 3 or 4 babies, so we know if they're going to grow, or we think we know if they're going to grow more or whatever, but it's a crapshoot,
And for our viewers out there, just tell us where Blue Chip's located, where you're based out of.
We're in Walk Hill, New York, which is like an hour and a half north of Yonkers Raceway, a little less, up near New Paltz, New York, on the west side of the Hudson.
How many acres do you have up there?
We have 650 acres.
That's plenty, right?
Yeah. We have about 400 horses on the farm right now. We give birth to between 150 and 200 babies a year. Roughly 3/4 ours and 1/4 clients, and have been doing pretty much the exact same thing for 20 or 21 years.
So do you focus more on trotters or pacers? All?
Agnostic.
All.
It's shifted over the years. At the beginning, we happened to have some great pacing stallions, so then the broodmare band tends to gravitate towards where your hot stallions are. But the broodmare band is an amorphous thing. You don't just like buy it and have it. You have to be culling some out of there and investing in new ones. I joke with everyone, but the business is like a roach motel. Like, you have the yearling sale, you have all this cash there, and they don't really let you take it home. Then they tease you with really nice mares on Thursday and Friday. So you have to manage that or you die, for sure.
What about the studs that you're standing now?
Yeah, we're very excited. We in the last 2 years, we brought in Back of the Neck, which is a French bloodline to the sport, who had great performance in the U.S. on a half-mile track. I think he'll be a superstar in New York, as well as Cannibal, who was impeccably bred, very successful pacer. And in this year coming, we've already announced Captain Albano.
That's got to be an exciting one to bring in.
Yeah, I mean, bringing Captain Treacherous Blood to New York is exciting. And I'll go out on a limb and tell you we're very likely to stand Winner's Bet as well, which is the richest, fastest son of Walner. We're hoping to close that for 2025 as well.
That's cool, and a lot of those 3-year-olds going to stay in stud. There's just when looking to maybe bring them into Blue Chip, is that something, you said Back of the Neck got around a half-mile track. Is that something you really look at due to the fact that New York has, all those half-mile tracks?
Yes. We hope for a Chapter 7 where, people, I think, by Chapter 7's thinking Grand Circuit, but have the fallback of the New York Sire Stakes.
Which isn't a bad fallback, right?
No, it's always been good. It's much better now. One, the number of horses bred in New York has gone down, so and the purses have gone way up. The final next year is 300 versus 225, and there's a new 2-year-old race for $250,000.
Yeah, that's what Blake was saying. We had him on.
Yeah,
you have 7 legs of a Sire Stake, a $300,000 final mixed in with a $250,000 in the middle of the season.
We should hire you to be the salesperson. But
I just learned all this today.
I think the punchline for it is, though, you got to like money. Like, you got to get in your van and drive up to Buffalo and to Tioga, and a lot of the prima donnas won't do it.
Right.
But then you see Marcus Melander show up in Buffalo. He knows where the money is. So it really started with Jimmy Takter way back with See You at Peelers, and he managed the Grand Circuit and enough points in New York to win the final.
It's a big deal, especially with 7 legs.
Yeah, it's everyone likes their own cooking, but it right now, I think, is by far the best program out there, particularly when you weigh how many foals are eligible for that money. So the overall numbers are bigger elsewhere, but the number of foals are 3 and 4 times as big as ours. So, and people are noticing. You know, Burke bought some New York breds for the first time in 5 or 6 years. So I'm not just, you know, deluding myself. Other people are noticing as well.
A couple more questions, just for my own personal knowledge. Do you try to get your mares dual eligible, so to New York and Kentucky?
Very good question. We've gone backwards and forwards. We've certainly done some of it. It's very expensive. And, you know, everyone's egotistical and thinks no one can take care of my mare the way I can take care of my mare. And my staff is the best, and they love our mares, you know. So we did a lot of it, then we got away from it, and I think it hurt us in a few spots selling yearlings that weren't dual eligible. So we're going back to it a little bit. The bigger point, though, is it was great for a few years because there weren't that many Kentucky breds. Now there's so many that, for me, it's like Grand Circuit racing. But you have to respect the buyers, right? If they say they want it, then you got to give it to them.
And maybe explain to us what it takes to make a mare's foal dual eligible.
So it's very tricky everywhere, but take New York, for example. If they're bred to a New York stallion, they're New York bred. But there's a big breeders and resident breeders awards if they're there 6 months. So we have a lot of mares that are in New York for 6 months to check off that breeders awards, you know, which a lot of them were 200,000 for some of the bigger breeders. And then there's a mass migration in a 5-day window to get to Kentucky to also make 6 months.
You got to be there for 180 days, correct? Or so
6 months, yes, in both places. So you have a 5-day window, and literally it's like you know, the wildebeests going across the plain. There's 80, 90, 100 mares going down there, and the same from Pennsylvania and the same from elsewhere. So
all the jurisdictions now are wanting to be a dual eligible.
Yes.
And do you think it really inflates the price of the yearling in the ring?
My opinion is on the top end horses, yes. But again, those Kentucky races, in my opinion, are basically Grand Circuit races. So our answer is and obviously it's the mares you want to send the least, right? Because they're the good ones that you love the most. But I think on the high end yearlings, it is still affecting the price. On the medium, no, because they're going to make enough money in New York and probably not competitive in Kentucky because it's so many of them.
Time is flying by. It's already 9:56, so just 4 minutes till the sales start. So we will let you go. We'll throw it to a quick commercial break, and we'll bring Anthony in to wrap up the live video and maybe send it to a few more packages. So we'll be back with Anthony after a quick commercial break. Thank you for joining us, and best of luck today.
Thank you very much.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Apparently he doesn't.
Well, I found Anthony. I know I kept telling you guys that I probably wouldn't see him all morning as he brought one guest in, and I figured you were just gone for the day running around.
We were running around double checking horses that we have a number of clients here, and hey, have you seen this horse? Hey, have you seen that horse? And I'm happy to go and look at them, but we too have horses on our list, and I want to double check and triple check that this is what we're looking for. This is a horse that would fit into what we're trying to do and then obviously reevaluate the price and if we're gonna change that in any way. So we have a number of horses. I think I have 27 horses today that we're looking at. So
maybe the over is not looking bad.
No. We're staying under 7 for the entire sale. No, we have a number of horses we're looking at, and that we will be interested in purchasing if we can, up to 4, because that would stay under 7. But it's been a great day. I went back and looked at the horses we bought yesterday, and super pleased with them. Hearing clients send emails, phone calls, and text messages. It's a cool time of year.
Yeah,
it's a cool time.
It
Plus,
really
it's
is.
Christmas season.
Yeah.
So
it slowly is starting to feel like Christmas again in here. I thought when we got here it was a little bit warmer in here than it was yesterday, and now it's getting colder.
I think it's getting colder. Yeah, it's.
Did they turn the air on or something?
I don't know what they did. Opened a couple of windows or something, but it is definitely getting chillier in here. And listen, it's Harrisburg. Now that you've been here. Now you know for next year.
Plenty of coats.
Pack warmer next year. That's just the way it is. It's supposed to warm up as the day goes on. So hopefully we'll get some purchases done right away and maybe get on our way and get some lunch and enjoy the rest of the afternoon in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the morning has flown by. It's already 10 o'clock, and I believe that the sale will be starting soon. Not that we're interested in the first few, maybe.
No,
but
I think we're 20 in or so before we're even looking at one.
we do have a few more packages to look at before we get started. Maybe the horses that may be bringing home today. So we should
absolutely.
take a quick look at that. And this morning has absolutely flown by. Maybe it's not too bad waking up.
It has.
but
When Curtis said it was going to be 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock today, I'm like, geez, what are we going to talk about? We have a ton of videos to do and stuff to talk about, but this is, I said this to Mark last year, the sale in Lexington it's adrenaline rush and dump the whole time you're there. Harrisburg is much more subdued, especially for us. As I said, we know what we're looking for. We know what we want. So it is a little more relaxed situation. And when it comes to Harrisburg, we're starting day 2. It's another day to look at what we're going to do for 20. The most important thing, as I said to you, it's not even the sale. We've had people come up to us and send us horses. So not only do we have the ones we bought, we will have some private offerings for our clients this fall, which is different.
Yeah.
Not new, but different, and it should be a lot of cool. So as the sale starts?
Yeah. Probably won't be able to hear each other here soon.
They're pretty good.
But we do have some more packages to look at. Don't forget tomorrow, again, live before the sale, 8 to 10, and we'll go over the purchases that you made today, just the 3 of them that you will make today, and we'll look over day 1 and day 2, be live tomorrow, 8 to 10, and we will look forward to reading your comments there on Facebook and YouTube. But for now, we will watch the last few packages that we have available here on day 2. Best of luck to you today.
Thank you
be
very
following
much.
you around, watching, see what we bring in, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy these last few yearling videos for day 2.
Number 439, Ellie Hanover, is a February 19th filly. No, she's not a green shoe, Amy. She is a Captain Corey. This is the sister to Yearling Hanover, and the second dam has my MVP in it. This is a really, really nice looking filly, and I like everything about her. So we have a Captain Corey, who we like. We're going to support. Our mares are all in foal too. He stamps them. They're all long. They all have good videos. They all look good. This filly should bring good money, but they can't all bring good money. There has to be some cracks in the sale somewhere, and we're going to look as closely as we possibly can to find them. Number 439, Ellie Hanover, selling on day number 2 here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Was I wrong?
Well, I don't know if he
Well, how much you got made?
he's got 188 American, yeah.
Yeah, nice horse. They don't even have that. You're right. There's no update. This should be up to date. A lot more better than that. All it says is his name.
Yeah, he didn't.
Here's number 450. Now, I certainly did not think we were coming here to look at a 6-pack. It was not on the top of my list of things to do. Listen, it just is what it is. We weren't buying 6-packs. But this 6-pack is a brother to Memory and Imagination. Now, Memory and Imagination we bought for $77,000 when he was a baby by Father Patrick. His brother came through here last year and sold for like $250,000. And who was he by, Steve? He was by Father Patrick also. Now, both of those horses were much smaller than this horse. This horse is very, very well put together. So if you're looking at the horse individually speaking, not really talking about the sire, this is the best looking one of the three of them, easily. And he is a twin of Memory and Imagination, just bigger and stronger. I would say he's bigger than him right now. Number 450. I don't know how we can squeeze a... I do get a flyer, Steve, right? I get one.
Yes, you do.
One for the whole sale. I don't know how much a six-pack can bring. He is a little bit towed in, too, just like his brother. And I don't know how much a six-pack can bring, but I'm going to tell you what, whatever it can bring, this horse will bring. Number 450, Banditos on the Beach. I really should have looked that up before. I should have really went through that in my head before I said it. Number 460, Aries Blue Chip. This is an American Ideal horse. That's right. We're looking at a number of different horses. And if you've been at the sale, you'd know why. Man, they are selling hot today. Aries Blue Chip. This is a Hitman Hill, would be a full brother to Hitman Hill with 32 wins, 573,000 and 48-3. He is race timed in. A half sister to Pretty Catherine. She was a pretty decent horse in her own right. But to be honest, I'm not really worried about either of them. I'm looking at this particular horse. What a beautiful horse this is. A April 13th colt, selling here at a Blue Chip on day number 2 late and day number 2 also. So a number of factors go into this. 1, how much are people going to be in love with an American Ideal? 2, late in the day Tuesday, is everybody still going to be paying attention? And 3, are they going to miss the big, beautiful white blaze on his face? This is a good-looking American Ideal colt selling here on day number 2 in Harrisburg. Kurt, I'll be right back. Just 1 sec. Well, I'll tell you what, we've had a number of green shoes, and some of them can come with some smoke sometimes. They get a little warm, and the ones we were looking at, I thought, very subdued, very quiet. And of course, we're looking for value because we don't know what's going to happen with the green shoes when the sale starts. Well, number 469 would fall into a number of these areas. Green Arrow Hanover is a May 21st, so I guess a little immature, May 21st filly. Oh no, this is a colt, May 21st colt. Who is a brother to Gaines Hanover, and then you see Locatelli in the second dam. Man, oh man, I didn't mind the video, and I don't mind the horse, but I have to ask myself, what kind of value is to be found with Green Arrow Hanover? I'm not sure. I have no idea whatsoever. And are we still going to be looking for that Pennsylvania colt come late in day number 2? I don't know. I have no idea. We'll be watching this guy. We'll be watching this guy and see what takes place with Green Arrow Hanover, number 469, selling on day number 2. Number 472, Go Strong Hanover. This is the green shoe brother to Locatelli. So we just looked at the cousin of this horse, actually. And this is actually a straighter, bigger, more sensible looking version. And it's funny because the last one, I believe, was born May 19th. This is a May 20th. Colt, Go Strong Hanover. So again, you have the green shoe angle. What's that going to mean? What's that going to do, if anything at all? Locatelli was a Muscle Hill, obviously. So good family, one that we have a familiarity with, but a good-looking horse and a good-looking video first and foremost. So number 472, Go Strong Hanover. Again, are we going to need a Pennsylvania trotting colt late into day number 2? I don't know. But again, if we do, then this is a horse that could fill up exactly what we're looking for. So number 472, Go Strong Hanover, selling on day 2 here in Harrisburg. How you doing? Number 503, Impeccable Hanover, another well-bred Hanover filly. Can't hide them all. One of these horses, if not a couple of them, are going to slip through the cracks. And Impeccable Hanover, this is a green shoe filly. Again, we're going to continue to talk about the green shoes. Are they going to lose a little? Are they going to hold strong? No one knows. I don't know. You don't know. We're all going to find out together here at Harrisburg. This is the sister to the bar-hopping horse named In a Minute Hanover. It's a nice horse, made $410,000. Cloud9 Fashion, $258,000. The second dam is Will Take Charge. This is a very, very good family. a really, really nice filly. Now, we're going to talk about what we don't like about her. She's a little toed in. Curtis wants to zoom in on her feet. A little bit toed in, but not bad at all. Put together well. Her video looks good. This is another one of these fillies where if she brought the right amount of money, I'd be more than happy to bring this filly home. Number 503, Impeccable Hanover, selling late in day number 2 here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. No, she's toed in. I know. What about her? No. Not at all. Look at her heels. Look at them. Yep, but Amy, there's nothing wrong with the other heel at all. Yep. Number 517, this is Jasmine Sealster. You know, we've always had luck with bar hoppings. They've always been few and far between, and now that he's passed away, I believe this actually might be the last year for bar hopping, if I'm not mistaken. This is a beautiful filly. Now you look, a lot of the bar hoppings, they do toe out, and a couple of them will come to their knees. We had Tailgate Buzz. He used to get to his knees once in a while, but it never really bothered him, you know, and I noticed the same trend with a lot of the bar hoppings. But when you watch their videos, it doesn't look like they're toed out. Most of them look like they're not going to hit, and if they are, they're just going to brush. Now, maybe that is what drove the price down on some of them before, but as I said, he makes good horses, and they are tough race horses. Jasmine Sealster, this is a bar hopping filly. April 5th, foal, out of a Donato Hanover mare that made $50,000 and a mark of 54-1. She is a sister to Tirade Hanover, made $844,000 by Crazed. This is a good family, but most importantly, this is a good-looking filly. She's got a big, thick, strong neck on her. She's put together well. She's a really nice video, and I like Jasmine Sealster, number 517. I think this is day 2, late in day 2, here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Number 537, Leland Hanover. We have a lot going on here, too. I love about 4 or 5 horses in a sale that have a ton of question marks attached to them. Ton of question marks. Leland Hanover is one of them. June 11th foal to start with. Late foal. Secondly, Better's Wish is in the first dam. So first off, why is this horse at 537? Well, he's a Ridgeling. Could be it also. So you have a June 11th Ridgeling by Captain Treacherous, who is a brother, not a sister, a brother to Better's Wish. This horse, jeepers, definitely could fool me into thinking he's a day 1 horse. He's a really, really good-looking horse. Late, very late in day number 2. So 3 question marks. First one, do you mind the June 11th foal? I don't. You may. Secondly, does the Ridgeling bother you? Certainly doesn't bother me. He'll be fixed within days of the sale. And thirdly, very, very late in day number 2. Day 2 is a marathon and a long day here in Harrisburg. This is the type of horse you might be able to sneak home with. I would love to. He's got a brother that made $2.6 million and a mark of 47-2. I'll be watching this guy super, super close. Number 537, Leland Hanover, selling very late in day number 2. The Captain Treacherous, brother to Better's Wish.